Um, and so I think that actually that segues very well into the next thing I really want to talk to you about, which is the ACEs exam
Mm-hmm.
that you talk about in your story.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you that don't know what ACEs is, can you just tell us what the acronym is?
Yeah, so it stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, and it's a test that is most often taken retroactively. So it's taken by adults after their childhood, and it's used to assess how many adverse events we experience as children. So, like up to age 18, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the idea is the higher your ACEs score is, and it's out of 10, the more likely you are to experience the consequences of your childhood trauma. And that could be through developing addiction, that could be poor health
Mm-hmm.
outcomes. So, like heart disease, obesity, diabetes, on and on. And it could also result in just like it, problems with moving through life the way others do. So maybe not graduating, maybe not having career advancement. Yeah, so that's ACEs in a nutshell.
Yeah, well, and the reason why I think it's interesting to talk about because we ended up Willie and I both took the ACEs test before the show, just
Mm-hmm.
because we were just so curious. And spoiler alert, like Willie got a 6 out of 10.
which is pretty good, right?
Yeah,
Like that's a high
I mean,
score.
if you like,
Nailing
We
it.
well we laugh because we've done a lot of work, right? Like it's not always that funny, but
Yeah.
we
Well,
can laugh.
laughing or crying, you
Yeah,
know?
laugh
yeah,
about it now. Yeah,
I
I
think
can
we're playing
joke.
by golf rules on that score,
Oh,
which in which case I won, because
Okay.
I had a 1 out of 10, right? But and
Ah,
here's the thing about it, right? Is I'm sitting next to somebody that's got a 6 out of 10, and
yeah.
again, you yourself placed a 6 out of 10, and
Yeah.
but so it's not the only determining factor, but
That's right.
it absolutely is like a gauge as to whether or not, like maybe there's these things that happen that are reasons why I drink. And for me,
Mm-hmm.
what I found interesting is in my own story, just to give you a quick little blurb of where I was at, like right before I quit drinking or right before I attempted to quit, or whatever the case, right in there somewhere. But like
Mm-hmm.
I had a job that I was absolutely miserable at, that I felt stuck at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I had a very, very close cousin pass away. And then I had a relationship that ended in a very dramatic way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and simultaneously, I'm drinking and I've discovered Oxycontin. So for me, it's like,
Mm,
it feels like there was this perfect storm of things that
yeah.
happened, like just at the right time, that really, led me down this road of
Yeah.
complete destruction and addiction. And so I find it kind of fascinating because even if this stuff doesn't happen to us, ages 1 through 18, it
Mm-hmm.
still seems as though there are traumatic events that occur in our lives that can absolutely play a role in that addiction. I won't say manifesting itself, but maybe manifesting itself quicker,
Mm-hmm.
is what my experience is. It's likely that at some point down the road, like all that stuff may have become an issue for me, but it became an issue for me the way that it did because of those events right at that time.
Yeah.
So I think the ACEs is super helpful in that way. And
Yeah.
do you feel like the stuff that you dealt with as a child absolutely played into your relationship with alcohol and the reason why you drink the way you did? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.